Already. Well, they are backstage waiting. First and foremost, Miss Kimberly Curran, thank you so much for being here, ma'am. Hopefully, I didn't just surprise you like that, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I was just
Hey, hey,
thanking
hey.
yeah, I was just thanking everybody for you coming through today and helping me keep a positive attitude because things were not working the way I wanted them to. So, thank you very much, ma'am. How you doing? Let the people also out there know how you doing today on this lovely Sunday. Can you hear
I'm
me?
so good. And, technical difficulties, just, I don't know, just walk through it. Walk in victory, my brother. Walk in victory this Sunday.
Already. Well, thank you, ma'am. I'm glad you made it too, Chris Sims. I'm glad you made it too. Next in the building, we
Hey,
got Mr.
Kristen.
Larry. Today, I feel like, how you doing, my guy? How you doing, sir?
I only came for the V mix, man. I'm out.
Oh, I heard it now. I heard it now. I'll make sure it's fixed next time.
Nah, man, I'm messing with you, man. I'm happy to be here. We all ride with you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And of course, last but not least, we have Mr. Lamont Tyson with Get a Life Games. How you doing, sir? How you doing, man?
What's up? It's a great honor to be here with this brother. Been holding me down. He's been with me this year a lot, and we did some videos together. So I am honored to be here on your christening of 50,000. Can we please get 50,000 super chats in for this brother? I want to see him get 50,000 super chats, 50,000 likes, and let's get this brother to that 100,000 mark. Way to go, brother. Glad to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really do appreciate it, guys. After the show, I will have timestamps in the description box of this video. Just for the replay gang. Also, I will have the audio only version up as well, possibly tomorrow. I've been uploading those like crazy. I'm on all of these platforms right here, pretty much anywhere where you can find a podcast, I will be. And again, guys, thank you so much for the 50,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out the last episode of Super Duper number 45. Nothing but superhero comic book news, and also talked about that last episode of X-Men 97. I have not been this excited for a show to drop each week in a very, very long, well, besides Shogun, because that was dope too. And I don't know, did any of y'all get a chance to see them on Amazon Prime? It's streaming right now. It was decent. It was pretty good. It wasn't as tragic as season one. Did any of y'all get a chance to check it out?
I haven't seen the show. No.
Kim, anybody? Oh my goodness gracious!
I think Kim might be frozen
Did
a little bit.
Did I not
There she
see
goes.
Shogun?
Oh no,
Shogun?
what?
Did I not see Shogun?
No. Them on Amazon Prime. Did you get a chance to check it out?
Oh no, have not seen that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you do, it's pretty decent. Guys, check out the review on my channel. And man, Sharonda.
There you go.
That's so wonderful of you. 49.99. I don't have 50K, but I can do 50. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's
$1
so sweet.
chat, man. That means the world. I'm going to eat good tonight because of you, ma'am. Because of you. So thank you so much. So you're gonna be at 100K before you know it.
So sweet.
The grandmaster of interviews in these YouTube streets, man. She be
Yes.
everybody. She gonna
Big
interview
time.
Price next. She gonna bring him back, and interview him and all that. So no, shout
Thank
out
you,
to
lovely. That's so sweet of you.
Very nice, Sharonda. Shout out to you, sis. Big time.
Right on. Oh, we got another one right here.
Oh,
Sims in the building.
Proud of you, B. Been rocking with the channel for a while. Congrats on the 50K. Hot panel. Killmonger is the King Larry. Right on. I know he's happy to hear that. But Chris Sam, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into this first topic.
Larry.
There you go.
this dude.
Man,
I knew it.
Forgot how to use StreamYard for a second, but work it out. It's so much easier than the other platform. But who is a fan of Mr. Martin Scorsese. Topic number one coming from Variety. Ageless Auteur, Scorsese eyes Frank Sinatra biopic with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. Spielberg tackling UFO movie and more. Possibly not gonna tackle the Spielberg portion of this unless y'all really, really want to. But did all of y'all see the Killers of the Flower Moon? I know Lamont did. I know Kimberly did you, Larry did you as well?
I have. It's on my list to watch. I just haven't got to it yet.
Okay. Well,
you know, the problem is I look at it and I think it's like 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of those 3-hour movies, like I haven't watched Oppenheimer yet. I look at the movies and I see those run times, and I'm like, I'll get to it.
Larry.
No,
Larry.
Larry. Some of these movies lately.
I'm about to give you a Larry.
Like I was telling you, I was trying to watch Rebel Moon, and I've been having a hard time watching some of these movies lately. They're just not.
Well, Larry, that's because Rebel Moon sucks. I mean, go watch something of substance and quality for a couple of hours, and you'll be good. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
All right, I'm gonna watch one of them tonight. I don't know which one.
I was just gonna say that, but you took the words right out of my mouth.
I mean,
those
two movies, they're excellent.
Sorry, B. We went off the rails on you.
Apples to oranges, my brother. Apples to oranges.
Oh, no. You're good.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Y'all, I gotta be honest with you though. Like, I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I like Jennifer Lawrence, and Martin Scorsese is a great director. Some people say he's like overrated. I'll let you guys give your 2 cents on that, but I'm not excited about this. I mean, are any of y'all a Frank Sinatra fan? And if you are in the chat, let me know as well. But you know, this deep sigh right here from everybody is just like, come on, like I guess you know. That says it right there. This what are you doing next? This Sinatra project
for it, you guys.
So what?
You said you're there for it?
You guys are crazy.
Yes, and we accept our crazy too. At least we know we crazy. We accept it. We ain't running around here like we crazy and denying it. We know we crazy. We accept it.
Let me know how it is.
I'm gonna pass the weekend first. This Sinatra project could also hit some snags. The legendary coroner's daughter, Tina Sinatra, controls her father's estate and hasn't yet given her blessing to the film. But that hasn't stopped Scorsese from putting together a killer cast that would see frequent collaborator Leonardo DiCaprio playing the singer and Jennifer Lawrence portraying his second wife, actress Ava Gardner. Sources say it was Gardner who broke up Sinatra's marriage with Nancy Barbato, Tina's mother. With the two of the biggest movie stars on the planet as leads, the film is drawing interest from major studios and streamers. Apple, which financed the 215 Killers of the Flower Moon, would love to stay in business with Scorsese. Sony is said to be the front runner to nab the project. Kim, I'm gonna let you have it. Like, let us know how passionate you are about this, because I mean, I would have to. Again, talent is all over this thing, but I would have to hear everybody running out of the theaters, like headlines everywhere. This is the best Scorsese movie ever, you know, for me just to be that super duper excited. But I don't know how you feel, because I'm curious.
Look, I don't think Martin Scorsese is overrated at all. I think when someone has a lot of buzz around their films, it's easy to have that mentality of, now, are you worth the buzz, or is it just buzz for buzz's sake? But Scorsese, for me, is one of those directors that always brings it. I never leave the theater, or in the case of The Irishman, I never leave my couch watching anything of his saying, oh, that was lackluster. He's wonderful with biopics. The Aviator, I love look, I'm a history buff. I love history. You guys know that. And The Aviator, for me, I had actually, when The Aviator came out, I had been recently coming back from a trip to Hearst Castle, and with all that, there's a lot of history with Howard Hughes and the Hearst family and like that time period. So I love history, and The Aviator for me was phenomenal. And Leonardo DiCaprio is also not one of those actors that's all about the buzz. Okay, I mean, we can take it all the way back to Basketball Diaries. We can take it all the way back to What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He deserves all the hype that he gets. Killers of the Flower Moon was a different type of a more silent performance from him. But when it comes to Scorsese and biopics, to me, he always knocks it out of the park. And you cannot have, I think, when you have a star-studded cast, it has to make sense, right? Because we've all seen movies with star-studded cast that are like, okay, but all you did for me was put a bunch of famous people in here. You didn't really like do much. No, for any biopic about Frank Sinatra, you have to have a star-studded cast. And this man, if you guys aren't excited, let me remind you, it's not just that Sinatra was a crooner. He had a fascinating life. And he had so many tawdry affairs. He was breaking up marriages left and right. And he had so many girls on the side. His love life alone is a good movie. Not to mention, he had a lot of people in his corner that were made men. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of story there with Frank Sinatra. In addition to the fact, not just a crooner, but in terms of working with Black artists in the day, Frank Sinatra, being an Italian, there's a lot of stories about him of saying, I don't care what color that guy is, he can sing, bring him in here and put him on my record. He did that a lot. So I'm really, really interested. And Jennifer Lawrence, man, I've been waiting for her. That East of Eden project, I don't think it might not see the light of day, but when she plays evil, she does it so well. And not that Ava Gardner is evil, but this woman broke up some marriages. She was okay, like she was breaking up marriages, but also she was the it girl of that time. Ava Gardner was something else. She was like Angelina Jolie. Okay. So there's too much story here for Frank Sinatra for me to not be excited about him. And also, I add some super blue eyes to Leo, and you've got Sinatra, a little makeup, little cutting back the hairline. Oh, let's go.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Kim. I'm glad you gave your 2 cents on that. Not saying that it's only worth 2 cents, because from your enthusiasm, from your excitement.
Oh, I know you didn't just call me a 2-bit hoe.
No.
Oh,
none of that.
Wait a minute. This ain't the same Kim I remember. The last Kim I remember was In the Name of Jesus, Kim. Now she using words like 2
He said I was worth 2 cents.
Oh no!
Kim's been
no, I know it's all lie. I'm kidding.
Kim's been hanging with the crew too much.
You know I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Think about Jesus. That's another film that Scorsese is going to be doing as well. Not only this one.
Yeah, possibly Andrew Garfield with that. Brandon? Did you ever see, or any of you guys? Did you ever see Silence with Liam Neeson and
yes.
Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver? Did you guys see that?
I saw it. Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't know.
What? May I ask him? What did she think about that? Like in 30 seconds?
It was brilliant. It was amazing. It was a brilliant breakdown of how far would you go for your faith and what does it mean to really believe. Right. And he had his own faith journey that led him to that movie as a Catholic gentleman. And I've never seen a testing of one's faith portrayed on film just so clearly like that. It was a really phenomenal film.
Wasn't it based on some true events or someone's true tale? If I'm not mistaken?
I think it was, but he did have that script for over 30 years. He did. So if it was a very old story, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I got you. Okay.
I was just gonna say real quick too. Sources say he plans to shoot 2 films back to back. The first about Jesus, the second about the Frank Sinatra biopic, and I can use another Jesus film. I'm curious on his take on that. A lot of people did not like Killers of the Flower Moon was great, but they didn't like the perspective that it was from the FBI's lens instead of the natives, the indigenous people. I know a lot of people voiced their disapproval on that. And so we're going to see if he takes notes. Whose perspective is it going to be? We got the not the Judas and the Black Messiah, but the other movie that just came out with Lakeith Stanfield. Gosh. Oh, Kim, you didn't like that. You're rolling your eyes. Okay, I thought it was fire.
The one from January. Yeah.
I can't. Somebody in the chat help me out. I thought it was great. Out of our whole crew, I think I'm the one that liked it the most. But that was from a different perspective, a biblical tale. Kim, I'm gonna have to the Book of Clarence. Thank you.
Book of Clarence.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought it was great. Elliot and E-Man didn't like it as much as me, but that was an interesting perspective. Kim, I'm gonna have to hit you up and why you didn't like that or not. But guys, if you're watching via live on the replay, link is in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure right there. And shout out to Papa Avery. You know, 1999 super chat. Thank you. Congratulations on the milestone of 50K milestone. Be Avery. It's funny. My dad's calling me Be Avery. You know, because in real life he only doing that here. But thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. Love
That's
you
so sweet.
I really do appreciate it. I really do. And who is
Papa Avery and Mama Avery in the stream? Look at that
in the building.
And I don't know if that's a typo, but let's not chat. Let's not spam the chat, guys. I don't know, Jesus and Jesus, what you're doing, but let's not spam the chat. Let's not spam the chat. But let's move on to topic number 2. I'm a bit more interested in this than I am the former, because I was a big fan of Naked Gun, and I love spoof movies. I am silly. I am goofy. With the Wayans, what they did with the Scary Movie franchise was fire. And as soon as they left the project, the Scary Movie movies, they went downhill. We got Disaster Movie and all those other stupid ones. But Naked Gun with the late great Leslie Nielsen that was in Airplane and all of those other sequels as well. I miss him because he was the king of spoofs. They're getting a remake. We found out that Liam Neeson is going to be tied to the remake, but now we have another cast member who hasn't popped on the scene in a long time. I was a big fan of hers in the 90s with her Baywatch TV show running down with that swimsuit on. Y'all already know. This is topic number 2 coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Pamela Anderson to star opposite of Liam Neeson in Naked Gun remake. Chippendale Rescue Ranger director Akiva Schaffer will helm the Paramount Pictures feature. Yes, the actor has signed on opposite of Liam Neeson in the Paramount Pictures untitled remake Naked Gun, based on a crime spoof of comedies that were released in the 80s and the 90s. And like I said, Schaffer is directing. The original movie was written and directed by Jerry Zucker, and Jim Abrahams and David Zucker are based on the television series Police Squad that lasted only 6 episodes. Spoofed the tropes of police shows and films that had ingrained themselves into audiences' minds over the decades. What is your name? Lamont, I'm sorry. Are you excited about this, man? Like,
what is you over there?
My fault. Mr. Tyson, my fault.
See what happens? They get 50K, they get all big and forget who you are. You know, forgetting about the little people.
Golly, I just sat here and told a story how my children call him Uncle Avery, B. Avery, and now you forgot my nigga. Good Lord.
And now you're him over there.
But yes, I'm excited for it. I was a fan of the original Naked Gun. I love how they did those great spoofs. I would say of any show that does spoofs, that's got to be like the prototype, the blueprint for spoofing. And folks don't know, but Liam Neeson, he can be comedic, even though we're used to him kind of being typecast as the I'm going to get you and I will find you and I will kill you. I've seen him do something on a TV show where he was comedic. And as long as they can keep the essence of what Naked Gun was, him and Pamela Anderson on TV is going to sell tickets. I think it'll be great. So I am definitely here for it, B. Avery. I'm here.
All right, Larry, how you feeling about this, man?
I don't mess with Liam Neeson.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad for that. But keep going.
I don't mess with him. If he's in a movie, I generally just don't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Dude has some racial issues. I don't like it. I can't. I'm trying not to throw my support either with my time or my money towards people like that. So, and it sucks because sometimes there's projects that you want to watch, but sometimes you just have to realize. I mean, I don't feel too bad because sometimes I see stuff, I'm like, oh, that looks like a good movie. Then I see he's in it, and then I remember there's like 17 million other films on Netflix, Max, Paramount Plus, Peacock, and all the other, streaming services that I haven't watched yet. And so I just don't feel that bad anymore, but I just don't mess with them. So, I like Pamela Anderson. I mean, who doesn't? She's been kind of cool when you got to, when you watch the Pam and Tommy show and got a little bit more insight about who she was and that whole sort of situation went down, it kind of makes you like her even more. So I kind of wish they would have found a different person to play, to take over Leslie Nielsen's part, but I doubt I'll be watching it.
Go ahead. You going to say something, Lamont?
Larry, did you see the sex tape?
I did see the sex tape, but I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the Pam and Tommy, the series that they had out. It was a dramatized series about what happened to them during that period when the tape got stolen and then leaked and all the trouble she was going through with it. It was interesting. I forgot the name of the series. I think it was on like Hulu or something.
Plot details are being locked away with other police files, but it's known that Neeson is playing Drebrin. Anderson will be the love interest, akin to the role played in the original by Priscilla Presley, with a mix of sexiness and goofiness. Seen her be sexy before. I don't think I've ever seen her be goofy, so that would be interesting. But Kim, how are you? Are you looking forward to this at all? And did you watch the original Naked Gun movies back in the day?
Oh my gosh, did I watch Naked Gun? Yes, absolutely. And I like Liam Neeson. And I know the situation you're talking about, and there's different. I won't get into it, but I don't necessarily think he's a racist.
He said it. It came out of his mouth. No one asked for it. No one knew. He volunteered the information, so that's on him.
I disagree. But I really like him. I think it'll be nice to see him taking kind of a funny approach to that side. That's what you loved about the original actor. I can't believe his name escapes me. Leslie Nielsen, is that he was so straight-faced, and the stuff that came out of his mouth was so hilarious. And I think Pam Anderson's a perfect casting because that is what the role is. It's like this soft-spoken, sexy, but funny. That's what Priscilla Presley did. And they were so good together. And Akiva Schaffer is one of the Lonely Island guys, with Andy Samberg. He was an SNL writer. I really liked it. I don't think any of the Lonely Island stuff I didn't laugh like crazy at, all Natalie Portman's rap, that was those guys' ideas. So they're just legendary writers on SNL. And so I think Akiva's the perfect person to direct it because he's got a fantastic sense of humor for it. And I think there haven't been a whole lot of comedies, especially if it's not a comedy paired with action. We haven't seen it a lot. Unless it's Kevin Hart and The Rock, unless it's funny, but also I need to blow something up. We haven't actually seen a whole lot of silly comedies, we're past the age of when we had Zoolander and Anchorman and a lot of stuff from Will Ferrell, a lot of stuff from Ben Stiller. Like that time kind of went away with the incoming of the superhero movies. So now, unless something's getting blown up, we kind of don't want to see a comedy. So I'm really excited to just see a really great, straightforward comedy, especially from someone that's involved with the Lonely Island guys and SNL. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Yeah,
they should just recast.
That's too late, man. I'll see it for free. I won't pay for it because I like Pam, I like Naked Gun, but I have no excuse for that type of commentary either. But whether you want to see it or not, I'm curious. So let me know in the comment section whether you watch this via live or on the replay. And there is a link to this down in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure.
You know who would have been great in that role? Either Nick Cage or Christopher Walken. Either one of them would have been fantastic.
I will take either one. I will take either one. Larry, I'm coming to you next though. And one thing I'm pretty sure we can appreciate is when something costs just a few dollars to make, but it's banks a ton at the worldwide box office. Film comes to mind is the Blair Witch Project. When that came out in the 90s, the marketing was fantastic. The budget for that film was only $60,000. That is
Yeah.
really unheard of, man. Films just don't, that's just never happens. $60,000, not 600,000, 60,000, and it
Yeah.
grossed 248 million worldwide. Do you want to see a
Crazy.
remake or a reboot, or are you curious on anything like that?
The only reason why I don't is because this movie was so interesting because it was done with such a low budget and it was done with such like it was like a really good student film in a way, where it was like no one expected this thing to come out and be the big banger that it was. And I feel like if they try and remake it, it's just going to come off as like sort of this high budget, this sort of big budget attempted remake that's just really not going to look that good. I don't know. It's just,
Okay.
I don't know. The first one felt very organic, and I'm not sure they're going to get the same thing if they remake it. Just not sure.
This is coming from Variety. The Blair Witch Project cast asked Lionsgate for retroactive residuals and meaningful consultation on future projects. The directors and producers of the groundbreaking 99 horror film released a separate statement in support. We believe the actors deserve to be celebrated for their enduring association with the franchise. And so those are the names of the original cast people right here. Heather Donahue, Joshua Leonard, and Michael Williams stars in the seminal horror The Blair Witch Project, released a public letter to Lionsgate on Saturday asking for more compensation following that 1990 blockbuster for projects that use their names and likenesses. The statement comes 10 days after Lionsgate and Blumhouse announced they plan to revive the franchise with a new movie that will provide, in the words of Lionsgate Motion Pictures Group Chair Adam Fogelson, new vision for Blair Witch that will reintroduce the horror classic for a new generation. Lionsgate did not produce or distribute the original film. It acquired the property through its 2003 buyout of independent film distributor Artisan Entertainment. The Lionsgate Blumhouse announcement sparked a strongly worded response via social media from Lennar, who said that no one had contacted him or his co-stars about the project in advance. At this point, it's 25 years of disrespect from the folks who pocketed the lion's share, pun intended, of the profits from my work. That feels both icky and classless, Lennar wrote. Lennar said the actors who shot and improvised the independent movie roughly a week on the shoestring budget using their names for characters each made $300,000 from a buyout, and this is the key word, buyout, of their ownership points of the film, which went to gross $248 million worldwide. At 2002, the actors sued Artisan Entertainment for using their names and likenesses in the studio's 2000 sequel, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Larry, look, if it was a buyout and they got paid back then, should they still be getting paid today if somebody is going to be rebooting this or restarting?
No, come on, man. I mean, I'm not trying to be all pro corporate and pro studio everything, but let's just be real, man. This is a business. It's called show business. And if you go in there and you don't get paid a ton of money and the film turns around and blows up, if you make a film that costs 60 grand and you're just happy that someone says, that's a great film. It costs you 60, we'll give you 124. And they turn around and make 250 million. That's on you. That's on you. You took what you thought was going to be a nice payday, and it turned out that you just undervalued yourself. And that happens all the time in business. And as bad as I feel for people that end up in those situations, it's not dirty. It's not unfair. It is what happens. You made a product, you sold the product to somebody, someone took that product and they blew it up. That's what happens. I mean, as far as the buyout, these people said, okay, we're getting bought out. They knew this film was very successful when they took that buyout. They could have just held out and said no, or they could have negotiated for some points on the back end or something. But they took a $300,000 buyout, and now they want to come back later and ask for more money. I mean, when people, that's the thing, when people sign these contracts, they have to be careful. Those contracts are seriously onerous. I mean, you are signing your rights for people to use your likeness and your name and in every single, format now, or haven't even been thought of in perpetuity. They're basically saying, like, even if there's technology 50 years from now that we haven't thought of, we can still use your name and likeness with those properties with that technology, because you signed those rights to us. You don't get to come back on that. I mean, it sucks for them, but I mean, we've all signed bad contracts at one point or another. I know I have. I don't bitch about it. I just make sure that I know better next time.
I got you. Kimberly, in their most recent statement, Leonard Williams and Donahue, who now goes by Ray Hans, called on Lionsgate to provide them with retroactive and future residual payments equivalent to the sum that would have been allotted through the SAG-AFTRA had we had proper union or legal representation when the film was made 25 years ago. They also asked for meaningful consultation on any future Blair Witch reboot, sequel, prequel, toy game, ride, or escape room, in which he could reasonably assume that Heather, Michael, and Josh's name and or likenesses will be associated for promotional purposes in the public sphere. Also, Lionsgate, the first attempted to revive the franchise in 2016. Sequel, Blair Witch, which earned $45 million worldwide. The company also operates a Blair Witch themed escape room in Las Vegas. Yeah, how you feel about that?
I mean, there's two things that come to mind in terms of the business stuff. Like, one example, like I have an agent right now for like commercial work and stuff. But I remember when I was getting started, I had a really, agency that had a name that was like, hey, we want to sign you. And I take everything in prayer, and then I seek wise counsel. I ask people who know more than me. I had some, I paid, I wasn't making a lot of money as an actor. I was just getting representation, but I came out of pocket to have a lawyer review the contract that they wanted to have with me. And I didn't, in my gut, it didn't feel right. Something about it didn't feel right, but everyone was like, oh my God, they want to sign you to that. And I was like, something's not right. And then the lawyer was like, hey, I don't like this. This shouldn't be this difficult. This shouldn't be this hard. And I went back and I said, no. And that was like a tough decision, because I was a broke, like starting out actor, and I wanted jobs. I wanted opportunities, but I was like, and no one else was asking me. And I said no, which was insane. Come to find out, I'm so glad I did, because the agent I did sign was like, what did their contract say? No, that's like, no, that we don't do that. A good agent doesn't do that. Like, it turns out I'm so grateful I never did that. So you don't have to sign everything that's in front of you. Even though you felt like I don't know their specific situation, but if they felt like, oh, $300,000 is the best I'm going to get, it depends on what kind of counsel you had, like what kind of wisdom you had in your corner. So in terms of that, honestly, this business is tough. It's unfair. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. It's a business. But also, I'm sorry, but Blair Witch was lightning in a bottle. There's certain things that are so beautiful, and they're just lightning in a bottle. And it was so organic the way they did it. It was a shoestring budget. So they're like, let's use our own names. Let's, that just the organic way in which it was shot, in which the improv came together. These corporations, sometimes I'm like, yay, you may have gotten a leg up on them. Like, they may be missing out on money, but I'm sorry, but you don't have the art. You can throw as much money at it as you want, but you're not going to get that lightning in a bottle, not a second time, because look at the sequel they already made. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody remembers that, but we remember Blair Witch. I think I was 11 or 12 when Blair Witch came out, and to this day, it's still legendary. You'll never hit legendary status. It was lightning in a bottle. You're not going to get that twice, and shame on you for trying. So it kind of sucks all around.
I mean, look, Brandon, as far as people with signing bad contracts, let's not forget this is not a new phenomenon, and it happens even to big artists. Let's not forget Prince, for a number of years, went by a symbol because this man who had put out by that time, I think about 8 or 10 albums, had a bad contract, and he had money and lawyers and everything else, and still had a bad contract and had to go by a terrible, symbol so that he can go and continue to make music until that contract was expired. So I mean, it's just this is one of those things that if you are entering into any sort of contract, you need to be very careful. You need not cheap out and do like you did and get yourself an attorney.
Go ahead, Lamont.
Usually I am for people trying to make remakes. As long as you're not going to try to recapture what happened the first time. I was 19 when this came out. And at the time, I was one of those people that couldn't stand first person anything. So first person shooter games, the way they filmed this film, I couldn't finish it. It made me dizzy. But I got what the appeal was and what the allure was. And I feel like if they're going to make a new one, just get a good camera, make it stabilized, but don't think you're going to get the same magic as you got from the first time. And when it comes to them and the contract, I've got a story similar to Kim. I've got 3 scripts I've written, and a company came to me and said they wanted to offer me the SAG-AFTRA minimum. Well, I'm not part of SAG, which was 70 G's. And I was like, no, you're not getting my script for 7. Are you kidding me? No, I'm betting on myself. However, I'm 40 something and have owned several businesses. I know what it means to be in capitalist America. MF is trying to capitalize on you, and they try to do that through the wordplay in contracts. But the problem is when people are artists or starving artists, you see it with music, you see it with this, you see it in all industries. You're kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place. You either have to gamble with someone who has the money to make your product and then push it, or you go with what you have, and then you might not be able to fully get your product to reach its full potential because you don't have the ends to do what this company can do. At the end of the day, it comes down to, are you going to bet on yourself? And you do kind of have to lean on either people that are around you that can help you understand contracts, or someone pray like Kimberly did, and hopefully God can help you out. Because if you let people do it, they will capitalize on you. That's the whole point of American capitalism.
And it's a little bit different too if you're talking about like Kim's situation where you're talking about signing a contract to be represented by someone, and it could be over amount of time, or they could say we get a piece of any project that you're a part of for a number of years. If you're someone like Lamont who's selling a script, or you're someone who's selling an album, it may be a little bit different because you might say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you this script for 70 grand and see what you do with it. And I'm just gonna look at it as like a loss leader, and maybe I only get maybe the movie blows up and becomes a huge thing, and the only additional money I get is when they hire me to come on set and do rewrites on right there, or they have me come on as a consultant or something. But what happens is everybody knows that you wrote that script, and so the next time when they come back to the well, it's not 70 grand. You got to put another 0 behind that, So
I appreciate that, Larry, but hold on a second. But Lamont, I do appreciate your commentary, my brother. Thank you for giving us your time today. I know you got to bounce. So thank you for coming through, man, and sharing your audience with me. Y'all, his link is in the description. Here is his YouTube channel. Look at that, brother, over 310K.
Crazy.
Unless you want to, give any shout outs or nothing like that, man, I sure do appreciate you coming through, and I'll see you next time, bro.
I'll shout out your fans and for holding you down, getting you to this mile marker. I'll shout out the panel. You guys are excellent. I've missed you all. Glad to finally see you again. I'll shout out everybody that's giving you these wonderful super chats because of what you've done. Brother Avery, it's always a pleasure. Continue to send this man 50-something super chats. I would love to see a 50,000 pop up in here or something like that. So while I'm going, y'all strive for that, and I'm out.
All right, man. You have a good night, man.
Bye, Lamont.
See you, Kim. See you, Larry.
I see it.
That's what's up right there. And my goodness gracious, we're being blessed in this chat. Right,
you get a $50,000 super chat. You need to fly us in so we can do an in studio.
Oh, man.
Goodness gracious for that. I gotta play his special video too. Where is it? Yes. So much, my God, for the super chat, $50.01. Like the price is right. Congratulations on the 50K, bro. Thank you, man. It's been a long time coming. Yes, it has. I know everyone doesn't see the hard work you do behind the scenes, but your hard work has paid off. 100K is on the way. Yes, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. I was so eager to have a new platform with the new guests on 50K, but we was just having too many technical difficulties, and so but. Thanks, Kim, and thank you everybody. Amen. I really do appreciate it. He's gonna be at 150K before he know it. So thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. But let's go ahead and move on to this next topic. But before we do, again, guys, the link is in the description box below for you all to read at your own leisure. Kimberly, I know you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino. I know you're a fan. I'm a fan.
Some stuff I am, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, am I making assumptions and incorrect? I guess so. What's your favorite film of his, if you don't mind me asking?
Some honestly, it's just gonna sound crazy coming from me, but Pulp Fiction in terms of the writing. There's a lot of stuff in there that's like, whoa, hey, yeah. But
that doesn't sound crazy.
But it doesn't mean I can't appreciate good writing. You know, I'm not one to say that because somebody's content may be a little explicit or not favor the types of things I like in my personal life. It doesn't mean I can't appreciate great writing and great dialogue when I see it. And I definitely appreciate Tarantino for his dialogue and his writing for sure. Yeah, Pulp Fiction and the style of Pulp Fiction, the style. There's a lot of stuff in there. I wish I could, me, I'd rather make everything PG-13. But I can appreciate art when I see it, and he's an auteur. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I didn't really care for his last film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, except for the last 5 minutes. And I really wasn't
explosive. It's crazy.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I wasn't that excited about this movie critic film that he was going to come out with. That was going to be his 10th and final film. It had Brad Pitt in it, but this is coming from Variety right here, and it looks like he scrapped it. Quentin Tarantino scraps the movie critic as his final film. Quentin Tarantino is no longer planning to make the movie critic, which he had earlier said would be his final film as a director. It was confirmed Wednesday that the director had given the project a thumbs down. The movie critic would have been Tarantino's 10th film, but sources say he won't be looking to rewrite the script or revive the project, instead making plans to move on to something new. I'm happy about that. Brad Pitt had been cast in the lead role in the film at one point, and in the film. At one point, Tarantino, he had said that the 1977 set film was Albator's small-time movie critic who wrote smart reviews for a porn magazine. I did not know that part. It was also rumored that Pitt would also play some form of his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood character Cliff Booth, who whooped Bruce Lee in that movie, which was funny, who in Tarantino's novelization of the feature was a big movie buff. Tarantino talked briefly about the movie critic before an audience at the Cannes Film Festival last year, saying, "I can't tell you guys anything unless you see the movie. I'm tempted to do some of the characters' monologues right now, but I'm not going to. Maybe if there were less video cameras. You just have to wait and see." The plan of the film movie critic was moving along before Tarantino had a change of heart. In addition, casting Pitt, the production has secured a $20 million tax subsidy from the state of California. And like I said, I am not upset about this. I am not sad. There is another film that I would prefer him do if it's going to be his 10th and final film, which I will say in a second. But Kim, how you feeling about this? You care? You don't care? You in the middle? Or what would you want?
No, I care. I think it's interesting that he scrapped it. That's interesting, but I think he's a director that knows his mind, and he has such a particular way about him. Such a particular way. He's one of those directors that, like, I can see, and I can't think of a specific story, but if you're a studio, you kind of just let him do his thing. You don't step on his toes too much. He's not going to put up with it, but two, that's just not how he works. Whereas there's some directors, like if you sign up with Marvel, you've got to give away some power. That's just how that machine works. you know, to say the least.
Good
That's just how
song.
that machine works. Yeah, I mean, but Tarantino's not one of those. He's like, I got a great name. You know what I'm going to do with it. Other than providing the backing, like leave me alone. So yeah, all that to say, I think it's not a studio reason. It's him as a writer that wasn't satisfied. And when an artist says, you know what, this is my art, and I actually am not pleased with it, I'm fine with that, because as an artist, he knows what he wants to put out and what he doesn't. And he also knows his audience. He's a fan. You know, that's another thing I like about Tarantino. That I really like about the guy. I got some bones to pick, but I can focus on what I like. And what I like is that he's a fan of film. And I just, I don't know. I trust his decision. But also I kind of wish he wouldn't have announced that, or I don't know if it just got out that it was his 10th and final film. I mean, obviously we know it's his 10th film, but final film. I feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on an artist. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone, because now the expectation is this and this. Now you got to top this and you got to top this. I would have preferred that he did the film and said, that was my last one. So now there's all this anticipation. Now there's even more pressure
Good.
of that. And so I wish he wouldn't have said it. Just make it and let us know when you're retiring. But I trust the artist, and I really don't care to see anything like that. But then again, there's a lot of stuff that he has in his movies I don't care to see. But overall, I would love to, I'll let you say what you would love to see. I have an idea of what I'd love to see, but I don't want to step on your toes. So.
Oh, no, you're good. I love The Hateful Eight. It's freaking fantastic. I saw that twice in theaters. It was so damn good. But Django Unchained is my favorite film of his.
Really?
For obvious reasons, yes, I love Django Unchained. Like, my goodness gracious, I can watch that over and over. And then Glorious Bastards, I hated it the first time I saw it. Loved it the second, third, and fourth and fifth time. After I saw it. And of course, Kill Bill. You realize it says Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair. Many moons ago, there was a limited release of the Kill Bills Volume 1 and 2 being released as one film, not a part 1 and part 2. And when in the first Kill Bill, when she went over to Japan and fought all the samurai, that scene was in black and white. It switched to black and white. But in The Whole Bloody Affair, they actually showed it in color. You can't find it anywhere. It's I've searched high and low. I mean, unless you find it somewhere over, I searched hard because I wanted it, but I can't find it. But the film I want is Kill Bill 3. I don't know if you can call it Kill Bill because Bill is dead, but what is it? Not Victoria's Secret. What is the name? Vivica Fox. Is that her name?
Vivica Fox, yeah.
She's one of them.
Yeah, Vivica Fox's daughter grown up or something, going after Beatrice. That would be dope. Larry, how do you think about this, man?
About him canceling the movie critic? I feel like once you say that something is your last film, then it adds extra pressure. And same, I think he probably looked at it and said, you know what? If this was my 6th or 7th film, okay, but for his last film, I think that's probably what did it for him. So I don't even know if he should put something on there as, because I mean, maybe he fully expects it to be his last film, but it kind of feels like an artificial thing. It's like you see people say, I'm going to retire, and then they retire for a few minutes, and then as they're sitting around doing nothing, all of a sudden, all these great stories start coming to them, and they're like, oh, if I just wasn't retired, I could do this, I could do that. And the next thing you know, they're like, I still can do this. And so then they come back. So why even say this is your 10th and final film? Just keep making movies until you're dead. I mean, it's what he loves to do, so why not?
Do you have a favorite film of his?
From Dusk to Dawn.
Did he do that? Did he direct that?
Yeah.
He did. I'm tripping there. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. There you go. Well, guys,
which is funny because I don't like scary stuff, but I like vampire stuff.
Okay. Well, what his 10th and final film be, guys? Let us sound off in the comment section. Your thoughts on all of this. Link is in the description. And thank you. Got another super card.
There we go.
It's $10, $50K in Monkey Man. Target stayed to kill. Are we spoiling? To kill Dev because of what Dev symbolized. He knew that Dev would concede. Wait a minute. Is this a spoiler? Well, thank you for the super chat, Fabric 86. I do appreciate it. But I apologize. I can't just post a giant spoiler highlighted in yellow on the screen. I appreciate it. I should have read it, but you went into detail too. But thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for your $10. I'm pretty sure you worked very hard at that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just can't put a spoiler up like that, but thank you. Got another one. M. Bison, I will play M. Bison for you. Yes, I will. $20. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Where's M. Bison at? Where is it? Here he is.
Yes! Yes!
Thank you, guys. I feel all the love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, they're rolling in.
They're rolling in. But I'm cool with this one right here. This next topic, guys. I did really enjoy the first two films. I haven't seen Knuckles, the new TV series that's in the same universe. I will check it out. You guys can let me know if you've seen that. But we got some casting right here. Keanu Reeves joins Sonic 3 as Shadow. Larry, have you seen the first two?
I have not. You know, I think this is one of those generational divide things because when Sonic was out, that was like just when I was starting to really go outside and feel myself. So I was trying to leave all the kiddie stuff behind, and I wasn't really into Sonic then. Okay. So I just didn't really mess with it.
Keanu Reeves is speeding along to another franchise with John Wick star heading to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He will be voicing the popular character named Shadow. Multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. This news dropped at CinemaCon a few weeks ago. I had this news last week, but I didn't have a show. And I'm looking forward to this, man. I mean, the first film did pretty well with the audience and the critics, as well as the second film. And, you know, it made a little money.
I'm down for Keanu, though. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm down for Keanu, too. So you cool with the casting?
Yeah.
And, yeah, this news came from the John Campea show. Pat, coming to you, Kim, have you seen the first two Sonic movies? And are you thrilled about Keanu voicing the character of Shadow? Did you play the game on Sega Genesis 2 back in the day?
Did I play the game? No, I didn't have that. I think I had Duck Hunt and 13 Ghosts and Mario. I didn't have Sonic, but I did play it at a few arcades. I know that. But the first two movies I found charming and delightful, and Jim Carrey can do no wrong in my book. I thought he was so funny. And Keanu can do no wrong. I mean, the guy, he's just got such a great attitude, and having him in a film that's more for younger but older crowds. But I liked his voice in when he did Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4. Duke Kaboom, Canada's best stuntman or something like that. I thought Duke Kaboom was such a fun character. And so I really like him for voice work. That low, like gruffy Keanu voice. What girl's not going to watch that? You know how many women are going to be like, I am all of a sudden a fan of Sonic. Yeah. Who is Sonic? But I just heard Keanu was doing the voice, so here I am.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Easy win, easy yes for all of us. You know, Keanu, I'm a big fan. Can't wait to see John Wick 7 because you know they're probably gonna make one. But
John Wick 7.
Link is in the description box below, guys.
Can I just say, Brandon? This is way off topic, but I have to say this. I would love a crossover between John Wick, Mr. Nobody, Monkey Man, and yeah, I think that's it. I just would love some sort of John goes to India, Dev helps him out a bit, then he goes to the suburbs, Mr. Nobody gives him a little support there in the Bob Odenkirk. That's the
Australian dude, right?
No, Bob Odenkirk, Mr. Nobody, Chad Stahelski. He was involved in writing that. You guys don't remember? It came out like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I wanted to. It's on the list. Remind me.
When you see
I'm thinking of something else then.
Yeah, you're thinking of something else. Mr. Nobody basically, and I would love to know what our crew has to say in the comments, but it's almost as if it 100% is in the same universe. Like, I can't believe they didn't just tie it in. It seems like they're totally in the same universe. I don't know. That's a little sidebar. Keanu just does that to me. I just,
It's all good. It's all good. Well, link is in the description, guys. And so shout out, sound off. Let us know how you feel about that. But this is an easy green light from everybody over here. It's weird that they just now decided to make a sequel for this film, given the amount of money that it made at the box office. And
It's just nobody. I'm sorry, Brandon. It was just nobody. You said with Bob, what's his name? Odenkirk is just nobody, not Mr. Nobody.
yeah.
okay.
Mr. Nobody, I think I was. Oh,
No, just nobody. I think if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I think it was just Nobody.
Well, there's two of them. One's a Mr. Nobody, the other one's Nobody. The one with Mr. Nobody is with Jared Leto.
Okay, Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, that's just nobody. That's the one that was throwing me off. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
It's okay. It is okay. But yeah, what I was saying is, what was I saying? This movie was good. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember it was good. I do remember not expecting the ending. I was like, oh, I'm pretty shocked by that. I'm talking about The Invincible Man. It got a 92% from all the critics. 92% of the people liked it. 88% from the audience. And look, it had a $7 million budget, but grossed this much.
Wow.
What are they doing? Sitting on their hands over here. They should have made this a long time ago. We getting the sequel, baby, coming from JoBlo.com. The Invisible Man 2. Elizabeth Moss and Blumhouse are developing a sequel to the 2020 film. Writer/director Leigh Whannell's The Invisible Man reached theaters just 2 weeks before the pandemic shut down the world back in March of 2020, and yet the movie still managed to make $144 at the global box office on just a $7 million budget. So it's no surprise to hear that a sequel is in the works. It's only a surprise that it's taken so long, like I said, to get into production. During an interview on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, the Invisible Man star, Elizabeth Moss confirmed that the sequel is in development and is getting closer to becoming a reality. When the subject of a sequel came up, Moss said, with thanks, and we got viruses. What's going on? What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Oh no!
Somebody's trying to get you. Somebody's trying to get you.
Man.
Don't click on anything.
That is awful. Give me a second, guys. Let me bring up.
You gotta get that malware going.
You know?
I got it. Yeah, you see the protection right here? It's secured by ESET. Y'all see it right there. That's
Well, ESET better do his e-job.
We are with thanks to Fangoria for the transcription. We are, I would say, and by we, I mean Blumhouse and my production company, Love and Squalor Pictures. We are closer than we've ever been to cracking it. And I feel very good about it. We are very much intent on continuing that story for sure. Whannell's take on The Invisible Man follow a modern tale of obsession-inspired universal classic monster character, and we all know who he's about. Cicely Cass, Elizabeth Moss, slowly begins to rebuild her life after the death of her abusive ex-boyfriend. But before long, she begins to question whether or not he is truly gone. Larry, did you see the first film? And
I did not, because when I first saw the trailer for this, it looked like it was a horror movie. And I was like, I don't do horror movies. As soon as I see it's a horror movie, I just tune out. But having you guys have talked about it, and I'm thinking back on it now a little bit, and I'm like, it doesn't sound like so much horror as it is like a suspense, maybe like a suspense thriller. So I might give it a shot.
Yes. Put it on the list, sir. Definitely.
Yeah. I just did. I just added it to my watch list.
I'm glad to hear that. Kimberly, were you?
I think this movie kind of goes down in history for me because this was the last thing in the theater before the world shut down.
Yeah.
If you remember, this was the last movie. I believe this movie came out a week before the shutdown or 2 weeks before the shutdown. So this is the last movie that many of us saw that did see it before we were wondering, will I ever sit in a theater again? And so it's interesting because at the end of the movie, I'm wondering where they'll go with it. But to see, I don't want to spoil anything for those because it looks like a lot of people maybe have not seen it. But based on the ending, I'm just very curious as to where it could go if someone else got their hands on a certain something. Like, so yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but I have some thoughts about like sequel. How? What? But you know,
You know what? I didn't even think about that, but you're
yeah, they kind of like, I don't know, the way they ended it is, I don't know,
Yeah.
cover
Isn't
blown.
that the beauty
Like,
of great
I don't
writing?
know.
You can
The
create
shot-
any kind of world you
the
want.
one with Kevin Bacon back in the day,
True.
about 25.
Hollow Man, yeah, I watched that. That was good.
I
That
like
was
that one.
good. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't talk. Okay, my fault. We all yeah, we all want to see it over here. And so
They should do another Hollow Man.
there you go. There you go. But besides the viruses, guys, there's a link to this in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure. And whether you're watching via live or the replay, let me know down in that comment section because I'm gonna read them comments. Guys, we have only 3 topics left, and I don't want to keep you guys too long. The next one, we're just gonna be looking at some photos of something that I get excited about every time some new news drops. You know, I'm a root for everybody black, regardless, just automatic. And so when you got Michael B. Jordan, when you have Ryan Coogler coming together for a period piece vampire movie, oh my gosh.
Oh, you know, I love my vampires.
Yes. Larry, have you heard about this film?
I have not.
What?
I have not, man. I feel like I've been under a rock.
Yeah. This is I'm coming to Kim first though. This is coming from Screen Rant. Michael B. Jordan's mystery character in Ryan Coogler's vampire movie revealed in first set photos. New set photos reveal Michael B. Jordan's mystery character in the upcoming vampire movie from Black Panther director Ryan Coogler. Now pay attention to this, Larry. Jordan's character is seen in a period suit. Actually, I'll skip past that. Let's see here. I was gonna skip, but since I thought you heard of this, so I kind of wanted to read something to kind of give you some 2 cents on what it could be about. Dressed in 1930s era suit with the deck, the actor is also showing standing in front of period vehicle, confirming previous reports that it hinted at a historical setting for Jordan's new vampire franchise. Jordan's character can also be seen wearing a shoulder holster, though it's unclear whether it points to bearing a gun or some other kind of vampire killing weapon.
Ooh, so he's a hunter.
Something like it. I'm not there was some other information. Man, I just knew you heard about it, but here's one photo right here. This is from IMDb. So it's definitely a pretty.
Woo!
There you go.
God bless America.
There you go.
It's amazing how much that brother looks like me. Man.
I love
know?
it.
Yeah, no.
Look at the fade.
No.
That is a clean fade. That is a clean fade right there.
Wait a little bit. So, we got this pharmacy and barber picture here.
I got that old timey Prohibition era feel.
There you go. And Robertson Motor Company. Okay. And I know these are just photos, but I mean,
good old used cars.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this. So there you go. Those are the photos. Lindo is Delroy Lindo is also going to be in this, Larry.
Ooh, I love him. Oh, I love him.
All right.
He was first reported joining the cast of Blade. The movie has undergone several changes, including rewrites and new directors not clear. Bro, am I reading the right thing? Let me see here. Not only do Jordan. They're kind of talking about, is this movie kind of biting off Marvel's Blade reboot? And so
what reboot?
It's coming. It's coming. But yeah, Larry, we're gonna have to chop it up about this, man, because I've been talking about this for at least a few weeks now. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm down for a vampire movie, man, and a black one on top of that. Yeah,
definitely.
No.
Are you a fan of Vampire in Brooklyn?
Oh man, that was great. They should do another one.
Eddie Murphy, Angela Bassett, yeah.
Yeah, that one was great. I watched about, I don't know, a couple months ago though. What was it? The Anne Rice joint with the black dude down in New Orleans. God, what's his name? It was an interview with a vampire, I believe it was, but it was the updated version of it, the series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that one was
Yeah.
good too. So
And my bad, y'all. I have apparently missed some super chats. So let me
Uh-oh.
grab those real quick. Tony, Movie Chappie, D9, Neil Baumclap, thank you.
There we go.
Larry, I'm gonna let you have that one. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Go ahead, Larry.
Is there a Howard the Duck movie coming?
I don't think so.
Because I've been calling for one for the longest. They need to have one. I would love to see a Howard the Duck movie out. And if they're not going to do a live action joint, then I would love to see at least a Howard the Duck series, like a animated series, come on Disney Plus. That would be dope. That would be dope. And they can bring all the care. They can bring in, they can bring in the Hulk. They can bring in, She-Hulk, because She-Hulk needs something to do. They had her series out there, and they just kind of abandoned the character. And because there's a crossover in the comics with her and Howard, I think that would be a good way to bring her back in and give her something to do. So I love me some Howard the Duck.
Also, same person. Thank you so much. Thoughts on both Cool World and Monkey Bone, very weird, bizarre films. Tony,
remember those.
thank you so much for the super chat, but I have not seen either one of those.
Oh yeah,
I have my
remember
list up here. I'm
those.
taking notes.
Yeah,
I remember those. Cool World. I remember that.
What is that?
It was kind of Roger Rabbit in that it was like, if I remember correctly, because it was from the 90s, it was like half real people, half cartoons. But it kind of reminded me of like that George Miller.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like in black and white, sort of, and
yeah.
Oh gosh, what was it? Sin City?
Yes, it kind of reminded me of that. Like it wasn't as innocent as Roger Rabbit. It's like Cool World, if I remember, it was rated
with
R.
Brad Pitt.
I said PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad Pitt? That was the guy.
And,
oh my gosh.
And Kim Basinger. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're right. That is Brad Pitt. Oh my God. In my head, it was someone else. Oh yeah, you're right. It is Brad Pitt. Yeah, it was kind of like a really adult version of Roger Rabbit, or I don't remember what the plot was. I just remember he was in there with cartoon women, and oh my God, I can't believe that was Brad Pitt. That's so weird. And 1992, that meant he was coming off of like Legends of the Fall or going into Legends of the Fall. That's a weird casting choice for that period of his career. Okay.
And also Fabric 86, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry when that was a super spoiler. Yes, it was. But now
I didn't catch it, so I didn't catch it. I haven't seen the movie yet, so it didn't spoil it for me.
All good, all good. Well,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
That'll work right there. Now, I'm definitely excited about this. If I could wave a magic wand and bring anybody back to life, it would be this person right here, and that's Michael Jackson. He just died too young. Just man. But guys, we know that Lionsgate is coming up with the new biopic. We got Nia Long is going to be playing the mother. Jermaine Jackson is going to be playing Michael. Cam, were you not aware of that?
I didn't know Nia Long was playing Catherine. I had no idea. I did not know that. Okay.
And who's playing Michael?
His nephew, Javar Jackson.
Oh wow. Okay.
Coleman Domingo is going to be playing Joseph Jackson, the father.
Oh, really? Okay. Who left the towel in the swimming pool? I can see it.
Now we have casting.
I can see it.
Miles Teller is going to be playing a lawyer or an attorney in the film. Okay. And now we have casting for Johnny Cochran. Do we know who's going to be playing the role? It is going to be, and this guy, he's so talented, and he's not in Hollywood that much anymore. Mr. Derek Luke. This is coming.
Oh, Derek
him in a minute.
Luke. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
I know. They have the exclusive Derek Luke, Antoine Fisher, which was a great film.
Yep.
The latest addition, and I think that was when he popped up on the scene for me, probably mostly everybody. Is the latest addition to Michael, a Michael Jackson biopic that Anton Fuqua is directing for Lionsgate. Did you know that Anton Fuqua was directing the Kim? This film is set up.
I sure did. Yes.
The actor will play famed attorney Johnny Cochran, who rep Jackson in 1993 child molestation case that was settled out of court. Now that answers the question right there.
Answers the question.
Like, how much are they going to focus on all of these alleged charges and the investigation and the court proceedings? The Neverland director was pissing a fit a few weeks ago, saying, "Oh my gosh, they're leaving it out the movie," because apparently he got a copy of the script. But this is being handled by the Jackson estate, and I think it would be wrong if they didn't mention it at all. We don't need to see any imagery or any reenactments of the alleged accusations, but that does answer the question. So, as previously announced, Jackson's nephew Javar Jackson heads the ensemble as Michael, with Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, Miles Teller, Laura Harrier, and Giuliano Crew Valdi, among others, set for key roles. Larry, does this get you excited, or does this get you excited, sir? Or does it not get you excited? I don't want to.
I'm sort of indifferent. I mean, to be honest, this seems like one of those movies I'll see on streaming.
Wow.
It doesn't seem like something I'm going to rush out to go.
Larry? What do you watch?
What do I watch? I watch all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm interested. I might go to the movies and go check out Civil War because it looks like it's probably good. But this looks like one of those stories that has been told about 50 million times already. I mean, we've already seen a number of documentaries, some other stories. It's just it feels like it is just another. It feels like just like another dead Michael Jackson money grab. That's what it feels like to me.
Wow, it's how good. You gave your opinion. I asked for it. I'm just shocked. When we talked about this a long time ago, she wasn't initially enthused about this either, and my jaw hit the ground as well. But man, I'm ecstatic for this, bro. I can't wait.
I know people love Michael Jackson, but I mean, there's just here's one of the problems is that you learn stuff about people you admire, and it makes it harder to admire them. I mean, the dude, let's not forget, the dude was just a straight up junkie. He was just a straight up junkie. I mean, he used so much dope that he had to actually start using an anesthesiologist to get him higher because he couldn't, everything else wouldn't do it for him. I mean, it's so bad. I mean, and then you have all the sexual, all the child molestation allegations and all that stuff. And I'm sorry, I know a good lawyer will get you off of just about anything. But when you have little boys over your house and there's all these allegations of people doing all the little diddling each other and Jesus juice and all the other stuff, I'm sorry, all that stuff does not come. Where there's smoke, there's some fire. And I'm not saying like if there was one boy or maybe even two, but my God, it seemed like every kid he came in contact with was talking about him diddling them. I
remember. I forgot. I think we had this conversation about 2 years ago.
And I love me some Michael Jackson music. I mean, when I grew up, I was a Michael Jackson head, man. I loved me some MJ, but sometimes it's better just not to know your heroes.
Well, let me ask you this though. Thank you for that. How do you feel about the casting? Do you think that Derek Luke will be able to pull off Johnny Cochran? Let's keep it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a fine actor. I don't see where he wouldn't be able to pull that off.
Gotcha.
Kimberly.
Thank you, Larry. Kimberly, how do you feel about this casting news? And are you excited about the film? And also not just about wrong button. Not just about what the hell is going on? Not just about.
I say I'm actually more excited about Nia Long than Derek Luke, though.
Thank you you took the word out of my mouth. Not just the Derek Luke casting of Johnny Cochran, but since you were not aware, Nia Long and everybody else cast in this film. Let's have it, Kim. Let's have it.
Yeah. No, I mean, the mini series with Angela Bassett, and gosh, so many people. Vanessa Williams was in that. Like, this kind of feels like another version, not in terms of just like retelling, but something else that I don't know. Hopefully, we'll be quoting for years. I know me and my sister. 80% of the things we joke about, me and my two sisters, are from the Jackson 5 miniseries. I mean, when I come downstairs in a new outfit, I do a spin and go, babe. like that movie holds like all of our inside jokes, basically. So I'm hoping that this film will have more of those moments that people can, all stages of the Jackson story. And I don't disagree with you, Larry. I mean, there's a lot of weird, interesting, crazy stuff. But one of the things that we were talking about last time, because somebody was upset, and they were like, hey, are they just going to skim over the allegations? And obviously, if Derek Luke is playing Johnny Cochran, they're not going to skim over the allegations. We're going to talk about it. Now, what they say, if they're coming from the point of view of, okay, look, he had sleepovers and that was weird. Like, are you going to admit that that was weird, but still say he was innocent? Are you going to admit some of the things that, like, because we all know, I mean, I'm not going to get into allegations because we all know there's a lot of different parties. Sleepovers are weird, but I don't think he touched anyone. Sleepovers are weird, but obviously he did. Look, either way, I appreciate the fact that they're going to touch on it. I'm just interested to see, are you guys going to just defend him to the grave? Or are you going to recognize that, look, he did some stuff, whether you think he did or not, that was still very, you don't do that with kids, So I just appreciate the fact that they're obviously going to have Johnny Cochran, which I'm taking as you're going to touch on the allegations in some fashion. I think that's better than just doing a movie where it's just like, remember this song, and oh, we're just gonna not talk about that. But I like that they're talking about it. Now, the other thing is, I want to know if all these castings, who's playing Lisa Marie Presley? Because if you're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, let's talk about the marriage. I'm interested. I can tell you right now, Brandon, I really think that the trailer will probably be amazing, and it'll probably be one of those trailers that with the music and the fact that his nephew looks just like him at stage 3 out of 12, then I think it's going to be one of those trailers that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. As for the finished product, I'm not sure, but I love Derek Luke, and I'm happy to see him on the big screen again. I hope he's going to do more. Happy to see Derek Luke. I always liked him. So
I don't think this is going to be the big commercial success that people are thinking it's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to take issue with the fact that they're making this film about this dude who has a really, really questionable past. And there's going to be a lot of people saying, why are we out here celebrating and glorifying the life of a dude who is most likely a child molester? And there's going to be people saying, I'm not supporting this. And if these theaters are going to put this out there, I'm not going to support these theaters. They're going to cause enough of an uproar that I don't think this film is going to be the commercial success that people think it's going to be.
Well, Larry, it's obvious there are going to be people that are going to feel that way and voice their opinions, and they've already have been. That's expected. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised by that. I respectfully disagree, though. I think it will be a commercial success if the film is good. If it's just mediocre or just not quality, then no. But I think if the film is good, the performances are great, and the story is told honestly, without any bias. And what I mean by that is, are they actually going to cover the allegations in the court cases? And with this casting alone, that does answer the question, as myself and Kim said. But even with the naysayers out there that believe the accusations, I still think Michael Jackson has enough fans across the world that will support this and show up, with
and
their.
It's about the story. It's about the story. It's not about what you agree or disagree about the story. There's story there. Filmmaking is not about, I only will show you stuff about everything that I agree with and everything that I like. Filmmaking is storytelling, and the story is multifaceted, and the story is very gray. It's not just black and white. I don't care what the song says. But there's story there. There's reason to make a film. A film doesn't equal an award for the subject being the greatest human on earth. That's not what a film is. You can do a film about Adolf Hitler. There's a story there. How did you go from a little 5-year-old kid to killing millions of Jews? How did we get here? How did we get here?
But I'm not talking.
There's story there. That's the point of film. The point of film is not to make you love the subject, it's to tell the story. And with Michael Jackson, there's a lot of story to tell. And with this casting, we're seeing that they're going to tell more facets that we originally thought.
And just to add on to that point, Kim, it would be different since you feel that way and other people feel that way. It would be different if they titled the film Michael Jackson, one of the greatest humans that ever lived on Earth.
Yeah.
That's one thing, because you're promoting him to be, something that he may not be. But this is just called Michael. It's just about his life, whether he was a good person or a bad person. It's just telling the story of his life.
That's what
I'll try and I understand filmmaking, but I'm not talking about the process of making a film or the creative aspect of the film. I'm talking about the business part of it, about the part of actually selling the final project in a way that makes people money. And I'm not so sure that it's going to go over well. There's a lot. We live in a different era where people are not just sweeping things that celebrities did under the rug anymore. True. And so I'm not sure that a film like about this particular man coming out in this particular time is going to go over very well. Now it might. I know there's a lot of Michael Jackson fans out there, but I think when you start looking at the commercial aspect of it, I think they're going to run into some roadblocks. Now, I will reserve judgment to see how the film turns out, but the fact that they do have Jackson family members that are acting in this film tells me that I don't think it's going to be a completely honest portrayal of the man. And so I think it's going to be
curiosity.
I think it's going to be a bit of a glorification.
But curiosity is what drives ticket sales. Some people
sometimes
will see
it will drive a certain amount of ticket sales.
Yeah. But some people might see it to see how much are they going to talk about the fact that he was high most of the time. How much are they going to talk about the fact that it's not normal to have a sleepover? And are you going to talk about the fact that out of all the brothers and sisters, somebody had to have said, "What are you doing tonight, Mike? Wait, are those kids in the background? Are you having a sleepover? Man, what the hell are you doing?" Maybe they'll touch on it, maybe they won't. But curiosity, I'm curious. I'll buy a ticket, not just because I like Michael, but I want to know how much are they going to be honest about the real stuff.
I'll be honest with you. When I think about this story, it feels like a money grab. It just feels like another MJ money grab. I will have to wait and see the reviews come back in and be very, very positive for me to be willing to go spend my money, because right now it feels just like another MJ money grab. I felt like we've seen documentaries, we've seen concert series, we've seen some movies about it, we've seen stuff from the kids' perspective. We've seen a lot of Michael Jackson material since his death. Mm-hmm. It just feels like another MJ money grab.
Well, I'm gonna close it here. I'm gonna have the last word on this, and we can move on to the last topic. I'll just say that every film is a money grab. But I will say, Larry, you have a fair point on your last statement before Kim just spoke. I was going to say that's fair. So I'll leave you that. But guys, whether you're watching via live on the replay, let us know in that comment section, and link is in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure. Last topic of the day. Hey. This is coming from Games Radar. It's a website I don't bring up too frequently, but I'm glad that they covered this story. These two directors right here by the Russos directed some of the biggest films of all time. And they're going to be talking about what they're doing next. And I'm excited about it. Will it be Secret Wars? Will it be anything else? Let's get into it. Final topic of the day. Avengers directors explain why they want to build their own Star Wars as they provide promising updates on Extraction 3 and The Gray Man 2. They do have the exclusive. The Russo brothers look ahead to their future and what they hope to achieve with original storytelling. First announced, where am I at? One swift glance at the upcoming project section of the Russo brothers' respective IMDb pages is enough to overwhelm, since they exited the MCU rather triumphantly with Endgame. The filmmakers duo have certainly been keeping busy making the likes of Tom Holland's drama Cherry, which nobody saw, and Spy, or nobody liked, or both, and spy thriller series Citadel, which didn't perform that well either, and upcoming graphic novel adaptation The Electric State. And it looks like they are keeping things that way with plenty of productions on the horizon. So when Games Radar sat down with the pair recently at this Sands International Film Festival in Scotland, we decided to get the lowdown on some of their projects, kicking off with The Gray Man 2, a sequel to their Netflix action film, which starred Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. First announced shortly after the movie's 2022 release, news of the following has been quiet, but the Russos promises that it indeed is in active development, with the filmmakers currently figuring out which direction the story should go in. As he tells us, we're developing concepts we think are the right direction to take the character, and so we are working on that moment. I mean, you're juggling like 14 things at the same time, so you have to apportion your time correctly to each of them. Anthony Russo then continued praising the support they received at their production company, Agbo. But that's part of the benefit of having your own company now, which is filled with really important collaborations that we've been working with for many years. And that's the only way we're able to sustain this level of work. We always joke there's not two Russo brothers, there's like 14. Kim, how are you feeling about this so far? Did you see Extraction? Did you see Cherry and Citadel and The Electric State and all their previous productions that they made? And are you looking forward to what they have coming up in the future too?
You know, Extraction is one of my favorites of theirs. I really love what they did with Extraction, and honestly, the action scenes, the action set pieces that they did, I really love the cinematography and how they filmed them. Chris Helmsworth was great casting for that character. I really loved Extraction a lot as an action movie. I would like them, honestly, I'd like them, I don't know, The Gray Man, I wasn't a huge fan. It was ridiculous action. I mean, that scene on the London streets was just silly. Maybe I liked Extraction because for a guy that's special forces or the like, if you really, the people who can talk about what they've done, you can make a movie out of what some of these guys who are protecting our freedom out there are doing. The stuff they do is movie worthy, and I felt like it was more grounded a little bit. The Gray Man, to me, I didn't like it. It was just like, we have these two stars and you should like it because these two stars. The storytelling was boo. It just was ridiculous to me. I haven't loved a lot of what they've done, to be honest with you. And I mean, if we look at Rebel Moon, the actors did the best with what they had, and I liked Zack Snyder, but we've already seen what happens when you try to create your own Star Wars. I'm not largely impressed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not largely impressed with their body of work outside of Extraction.
Yeah, I agree. Action is clearly not really like to work with Drew Russo. Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was saying, Endgame was just one of those things where you were handed this amazing property that was already going to be phenomenal, and they really hit a home run. They did, but they didn't, originate the concept of Thanos. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. He just talking about more of Extraction. Yeah, we're developing it at the moment, figuring out Chris's schedule with Sam Hargrave. Is back directing. It's an interesting franchise because he's very mostly wounded character, so there's good storytelling there. And I think, in respect to his backstory and his relationship to violence, is one that built around self-loathing and guilt. So it adds a lot of texture, I think, which allows us to tell more stories about him. And I'll stop there. I may keep going in a second. I love Distraction 2. Part 1 and Part 2 was super fire to me, and it would be silly if they did not do a number 3. And so I'm glad that they're a part of Part 3, and also I'm glad I'm happy with what they did with Part 1 and 2, and everybody that was responsible for those are coming back for Part 3. We all know that we're going to get a Thor 5. I want Sam Hargrave to direct that because he's already worked with Chris Hemsworth. Larry, what is your opinion on all this, and have you seen these films? And with all these that they're having development, I think it would still be silly if they didn't come back for Avengers Secret Wars. I think that's just, come on now, That would be moronic if they didn't come back. I know that they have their own production company right now, and that they're their own bosses, and they don't have to listen to studio heads as far as creative decisions and things of that nature. However, Marvel, Disney, I mean, did they have their hands cuffed that much? And this is not just some other movie. This is one of the biggest franchises ever. So if they would ever step away from the production company, I think that would be the smart decision. But Larry, how you feeling about all this, man?
I did see Extraction 1 and 2. I enjoyed them both. I saw Citadel, which I thought was it was okay. It was good. It was what I expected it to be. It wasn't like it was some sort of groundbreaking, piece of art that was gonna stay on the top of my list of anything. It was just fun, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously their Marvel stuff is good. I think they should hold out as far as Marvel and do a wait till Robert Downey Jr. comes back and do the new Iron Man. That's what they should do.
No. I
Yes.
want no other. John Favreau is the only person I want touching Iron Man 4. No, seriously, I want John
Love John
Favreau.
Favreau.
I want John Favreau to come back and do Iron Man 4. I want Sam Hargrave to do Thor 5. I want the Russos to do Avengers Secret Wars. Instead of it being a 2-parter, have it a 3-parter. And
3?
yeah, and also it's not like nobody's not gonna come see it. I mean, it's
Yeah, but it needs to be good. You just don't want to just have people come in just to take their money. It needs to be good.
Of course. But I also want the Russo brothers to come back 5 years after Secret Wars and do Avengers versus X-Men or X-Men versus Avengers. Because they're good at collaborations. Bringing.
They are.
I mean, just from the experience alone. You know what I'm saying? And so
And maybe they should do Spider-Man and Venom.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, but they're not my first choice. But yeah, man, link is in the description box below, guys, if you want to read the full article. We're not as enthused on any of the other projects outside of Extraction, just because of the track record. But Extraction 3, yes. Secret Wars, yes. And hopefully this year at Comic-Con we can get an announcement that they're coming back for that, teaming up Marvel, Disney, and their company Agbo, because that would be stupid dope. Any final thoughts on this, guys, before we?
Yeah, Marvel needs to do something, because I'll tell you what, their last few have not been home runs.
No.
So they need to figure it out.
Yep. And they should have done what I think many fans suggested, which is let us miss you. Let us miss you. Take a break. Let us not see anything from you for a while, and then come back with a vengeance. Come back strong. But yeah, Marvel needs to get it together, bro.
Some of these characters. I'm sorry, B. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna go ahead. I was gonna close it out.
I was gonna say, some of these stories that I think that are in the Marvel universe that can be told should be told in the form of a series on Disney Plus. I mean, that was one of those things when Disney Plus came out and they really were talking about all the stuff they were going to do. That was one of the things I thought they were talking about doing, was using the platform to tell these stories of some of these lesser known characters, to introduce them to the audience and let them know who they are, what their powers are, instead of just sort of parachuting them in.
That's what they're doing.
They're only sort of doing it. Like, we didn't really get to see, like, Monica Rambeau. We didn't really get to see her powers until the Marvels. We didn't really get to see her powers much. And like, they could have done a whole series, either with her own series, or did a whole series with her as a major component of it.
There was a rumor that she was going to get her own series, but they scrapped it because the Marvels didn't do too well. But we do have the Miss Marvel film. We have Wonder Man coming out later this year. We also have Agatha show coming out later this year. And so,
oh yeah, that's right.
And mind you, all this was because of Bob Chapek's fault, and he's not there anymore. So 2025 is going to be looking promising, for the future. But guys, link is in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure, and let us know your thoughts, whether you're watching live or via the replay.
Are we going to see Wanda again when they do Agatha?
I don't know. We may have to Wait and
What do you
find out.
think?
I think yes. Maybe not an Agatha, but she's not dead. I mean, she's gonna come back. She's too of a big prominent character, for them to not ever bring her back again, from what happened at the end of Multiverse of Madness. But we will see, sir. We will see.
Hmm.
But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to wrap it up for the Movie News Roundup show number 125. Thank you so much for your patience. I know I was 5 minutes late today using StreamYard instead of vMix, but I promise you I will have it up and ready next time. And again, I want to thank my guests for being here. I really do appreciate it. Starting out with Larry, what do you have going on in your channel that you would like to shout out to all the good people out there, sir?
Oh man, it's just more tech. I have some stuff around here that I'm going to be reviewing. One of these things is your dad actually said he went and picked one up, which is like this little portable air conditioner, which is kind of cool. You put it around your neck and turn it on, and it's basically your own personal air conditioner that you can wear around, and it has a battery in there, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, well, see, yours is a fan. This one actually, instead of just blowing air, it actually generates cold air, and then it has fans
nice.
that blow it. It blows it up at your face, and it also has another part that blows it down your back. That your head keeps cool and your back keeps cool. So it is quite nice. And
Nice.
so I have that. Some people have actually sent me some shoes to review. To be honest with you, that's just a little something different. So one of the shoes is one of the pairs of shoes has a smart tag inside that tracks your steps and your gait and all that stuff. So I'll be reviewing that. I have a camera lens and a e-bike and some other stuff. I have a 360 camera that should have been here already, but I'm still waiting for it to get here. So yeah, it's just more tech fun coming up.
Already. Grandmaster Tech Review. And thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate that. And of course, Miss Kimberly, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. What do you have going on the channel?
Well, first of all, congratulations on getting 50,000 subscribers. I'm so happy for you. And thanks for having me again. You guys, I have a podcast coming called The Film That Made You ... where I'm talking to people who have made major life changes based on the inspiration from a film. Maybe you lost a ton of weight. Maybe you confronted a bully. You finally asked that girl out because you saw a film, because you saw a movie and you were inspired by the story. You were inspired by the characters, and it made you get up and do something. So I am taking submissions. I want to talk to everyday people who have been inspired by a film to make a major life change in their life. So Larry, Brandon, like you guys, if you know someone, your uncle, your cousin, your grandpa, send them my way. There's my handle. It's at What's Good Kimberly. DM me, email me. I want to talk to you, and that podcast is coming this fall.
Already.
I'm looking forward to it. And I already have one. Rebel Moon Part 2 inspired me last night to get some sleep.
Oh, Larry.
I turned it off. Could not do it.
Larry.
Last but not least, maybe Monday or Tuesday, I'll have the audio only version up for you guys of the show. And so again, thank you so much. Check out the last episode of Super Duper, my X-Men 97 episode 7 recap review, my coverage on them that is streaming right now on Amazon Prime as well. And I want to thank all 50,000 of you guys for helping me reach this next milestone. It means the world to me. And now we are on the road to 100K. But guys, again, I thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Kim. That's Larry. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And we'll see you next time.